And welcome back to the Lolley-Carter Steelers podcast. I'm Chris Carter here with Dale Lolley, breaking things down for you and your Pittsburgh Steelers on DKPittsburghSports.com's podcasting platform. You can catch us on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are hosted. Dale, it's always good to talk with you, but I wanted to get into this with you because they're about to play the Lions. They have a chance to go atop the AFC North if they win this game. They moved 6-3, tying the Ravens. They'd win the division tiebreaker for the moment. We all know it doesn't mean anything in the long stretch, but what a lot of people always look for is consistency, and the people were hoping for consistency in the run game. But this is something that you and I talked about before the season, at the start of the season, and here we are during the season trying to remind people this offensive line is young. They have chances to have good weeks, but when you're a young NFL player, you have equally chances to have bad weeks. What determines whether you'll be a good veteran, a good team player, or a great team player is if you consistently have good weeks. But you have to go through these wars to get to that point. And that's just the reality of where the Steelers are in rebuilding their line.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to, to your point, yeah, you continually, it wasn't going to be a situation where, well, they just get better every week and every week, and you see that improvement every week. They're going to be hiccups, and the Chicago Bears with their defensive front were a pretty big hiccup.
Yeah,
they get some guys who have some pretty good NFL resumes, and they cause some issues for the Steelers. If you watch the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday night, they caused the Miami Dolphins caused Lamar Jackson some issues.
Yep.
And he's a much more experienced guy.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of different things. Teams are trying to figure out ways to beat you.
Yep.
And they will break down your film, and if you have a weakness, they will exploit that. The key is then making that weakness maybe not necessarily a strength, but you nullify the weakness. You just get better in that regard. So, the Steelers had a game against the Bears where the Bears were kind of jamming things up in the middle of the line, and they had the big bodies to do it with. That led to some, maybe a few more runs to the edges. The Steelers used 6 wide receiver runs to kind of generate that. And, that's kind of what you have to do. The bottom line is that they found a way to win the game.
Absolutely. And that's the thing I think a lot of people forget with this game is that despite all that, they still found a different way to win. I mean, the offense scored on a game-winning field goal drive. They were able to get the ball down the field and move it. When they got the ball back, I was sitting there thinking like, this is not the position this team wants to be in. They'd rather have the lead and their defense be on the field with the chance to close it out. But they march on, they get it done. They move the ball down the field and they kick the game-winning field goal. That shows some life there. But I think that people, again, we talk about Steelers fans being spoiled, but it's not that only Steelers fans are spoiled. But it's another one of those things where you had Marquise Pouncey and David DeCastro and Ramon Foster and Marcus Gilbert and Alejandro Villanueva for the better part of a decade. And when you have a group like that, you're going to see that consistency more week in and week out than you will, say, a group with 2 rookies, a second-year player, a free agent you just added, and a 4th-year guy who's still like 23 years old in Chukuma Okorafor. Like, this is what was always going to happen. What you're looking for are the signs of progress and the things that they're moving forward, and we've seen that from Chukuma Okorafor. We've seen signs of that from Kendrick Green. We've seen signs of that from Kevin Dotson and Dan Moore Jr. Have we seen setbacks? Yes. But that was always going to be part of the progress. I'm tired of people acting like it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to be the nature of the beast. I mean, I can remember in what was it, 2012?
Mm-hmm.
It was DeCastro's rookie year, and they went out to Philadelphia and just got destroyed up front. And I think Roethlisberger was sacked like 8 times in the game, and just was a mess. And that line turned out to be okay. That was the building blocks of, Ramon Foster was playing at that point, and David DeCastro and Marquise Pouncey. You're going to have those kind of bumps. The other guys are getting paid too. And, they're professional players. And, again, you can't take them lightly, much like the Steelers. Can't take the Detroit Lions lightly this week. And I don't think that they will. I mean, if they needed any, kind of push in that direction, just take a look around at the games that have taken place here over the last week. There have been a good number of upsets in the NFL over the past week.
I mean, we just saw the Ravens lose to the Dolphins Thursday night. You know, I thought there was like a 5% chance of that happening, and it hit the 5%, and I'm like, oh my god! And that's when you see that, when you think that, you're stunned. You know, I thought the Titans without Derrick Henry wouldn't be able to beat the Rams. You know, I thought that the Broncos wouldn't be able to touch the Cowboys. I didn't think that the Jaguars would beat the Bills in weird fashion.
All those games were a game in which the team that won it was an underdog by 7 or more points.
Yep.
Including the Jaguars were 2 touchdown underdogs.
Yep. And of course the Jets also beating the Bengals. You know, they beat the Bengals. That was another one where everyone was like, well, where did that come from? But this is a reminder when people talk about trap games. You know, I think it needs, like, it's fun to say, and we talk about it as just part of, you know, the lingo when you cover sports, but there's so much talent on NFL teams that, like, when
there's no such thing as a quote unquote trap game.
That's where I'm going with it. You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah, it just isn't, because everybody has guys. Everybody has. This Lions team has 2 guys. You know, if you look at Hawkinson was a top 10 overall draft pick.
Yep.
Penei Sewell was a top 10 overall draft pick. Jared Goff, their quarterback, was the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
Yep.
These guys didn't get to that point by being bums.
Right.
You know, at one point or another, and whether you agree with it or not, they were highly coveted players. And so, you know, everybody has those guys. It's the team that plays the best. It's the team that comes up with the best plan. It's the team that has maybe the best good fortune on that certain day. You know, a little bit of fumble luck or anything like that, because, you know, it's not a round ball. It's an oblong ball, and it takes some funny bounces.
It is. And again, this when you put 22 guys on a field every you know, for, you know, and then rotate those guys all game long, you're going to get a bunch of different possibilities. That's why football is so amazing to watch, is that you see all these different possibilities pop up on you every play. You see players, you know, matchups that you didn't even think about come in and become the biggest part of a game. It's why the sport's amazing. It's also why it's so unpredictable at times, when you get these things. And yes, there's certain things you can say, like, okay, I saw that probably happening. I saw that this probably happening, but, you know, there's rarely certainties in the NFL. And when Steelers fans are going into this game, I guarantee you, you know, if the Lions are digging up on the Steelers, they'll say, oh, this is what the Steelers do. They let teams hang around. But again, they'll ignore that all these other teams that were supposed to be the class of the NFL, supposed to be the top teams around, they're letting all these other teams hang around and beat them. It's just about, can you find ways when other teams, like a hungry winless Lions team, like a Jaguars team that has something to prove, like a Jets team with a new quarterback who wants to show that he belongs in the NFL, can you find ways to eliminate those days and say, hey, they had a big day and they gave us some problems, but did we come away with the W? And when you do that more often than not, you'll be a more successful football team, and you'll be a team like Mike Tomlin's teams that have avoided a losing season for all 15 of his years in the NFL. It's just part of the game. I think that people over sensationalize the concept of trap games and bad teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if that were the case, if the favored team won every game,
we'd always know who won the Super Bowl.
We'd have a hell of a lot more unbeaten teams in the league as well.
Exactly.
Every year.
Exactly. Trap games are a myth. That's what we're saying here. But what's not a myth is that we did tie in picks last week. That's disgusting. Neither of us can really talk trash about that this week.
Oh, I can, because I picked one of the big upsets last week.
Okay, so you still tie me though, because your pick counts as much as my pick. Anyway.
Yeah, but you pick all the favorites.
I don't pick. Oh, you know what?
I actually had the Giants beating the Raiders, and you were, oh my God, you're picking that? Yeah, I am. And
congratulations. You also said the Patriots stink with a capital S, and they went in and whooped the Panthers. I told you they was going to do it, and I don't even think the Patriots are that good. I just knew that was not going to go the Panthers' way. So
they were favored in the game.
Yeah, and I told you that
they were favored by 4.
You said I was crazy for picking them. You were saying, oh, they stink. I don't know what to see with them. I'm trying to tell you, man. It's not about the Patriots.
Keep picking the favorites there, Homer boy.
Okay, Homer boy. He calls me Homer boy. This is insulting. All right, we got to cut to a break. We'll be right back with our Week 10 picks right here on the Lolley-Carter Steelers podcast. Welcome back to the Lolley-Carter Steelers podcast. I'm Chris Carter. He's Dale Lolley. I'm AKA Homer Boy.
Carter's gonna. It should have been just picking favorites, boy. That should have been.
That's messed up. I'm picking
anybody.
Favorites. No. I'm picking favorites. Man, excuse you.
Okay, you're correct. You're correct.
I eat my vegetables. I'm a grown man. But in all seriousness,
anybody could just pick the favorite. This season has been nuts in terms of the. I mean, the upsets and.
I have an upset special pick of the week coming.
Okay, you're picking an underdog this week. That would be a first.
No, I pick underdogs all the time. What you doing here with that? You just happy because you finally got one of your underdog picks right. Because you've been doing this all season. You miss, and I'm like, look, I take my calculated.
I'm leading you for the season by like.
No, you're
weeks.
not.
Oh yeah,
we go back and forth every week. You win 1 week, I win 1 week. You win 1 week, I win 1 week, and then we tied this week. So calm down.
You have a selective memory.
Okay, I have a selective memory. I have a selective board here that's going to get us through these games here. We got 4-4 Falcons at 6-2 Cowboys. I know I'm pick the favorites, man, but I'm picking the favorites.
Pick those favorites.
I'll pick the Cowboys. I know the Falcons just had a win, but that was a scary win. I think the Cowboys are mad. They need to bounce back. They're going to get this one at home.
Yeah, the Cowboys win at home.
Oh, Mr. Pick Favorites, man. Look at you. All right, let's see if you pick this favorite. 2-6 Jaguars at 4-5 Colts. The Jaguars, they just beat the Bills. Are you going to go with them? Because I'm not. I'm sticking with the Colts. They're in the crib. Are you picking the Jaguars?
I'll take the home team again.
Oh, look who's picking favorites.
Again, it's taking the home team. It's doing the smart thing, which you take a home underdog, which is what I did last week.
All right, now here's a potential, not a game of the week, but a game that people will be watching across the NFL. 5-4 Browns at 5-4 Patriots. Both teams have had roller coaster seasons. The Browns bounced back with a big win over the Bengals last week, but the Patriots they've come up. But this is the game where I see the Patriots falling off here. I picked them to win because I didn't trust the Panthers, but I do think that the Browns, even though Nick Chubb's not playing, I do think the Browns are going to cause them some problems, and this is going to be a weird, wonky game with bizarre highlights. But the Browns are going to find a way to win. But go ahead, tell me that I'm picking the favorite here.
You took a 2-point underdog.
Yeah,
I took a 5-point. I took a 5-point underdog. I'm also taking the Browns this week. So you're not doing anything out on a limb there, pal.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. Well, that wasn't my big one. No, that wasn't my big one.
I'll wait for it.
And then the 5-3 Bills.
You're picking the Lions, right? Oh no, you pick, the Bears are off this week, so you can't pick them.
I can't pick the Bears. They can't be my sneaky underdog picks. But the 5-3 Bills at the 2-6 Jets. The Bills coming off an embarrassing loss. They've had some struggles of late. They need to pick it back up, but they're playing the 2-6 Jets. Who you got there, Dale? Are you picking the underdog there?
No, I'm taking the Bills.
Guess what? I'm taking the underdog here. Mike White's back. He's going to annihilate the Bills. It's going to be a stupid game.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. But this is my underdog pick right here, man. The Jets, baby. Jets. Jets. They're going to be on a roll. The Bills are going to be struggling. They're falling to 5-4, and everyone's asking, wait a second, what happened? I thought the Bills were good this year. No, sir, not today. But I'm going with the Jets. So there's your upset pick alert, sir.
Just because you apparently wore Jets stickers all over your face, it must have leaked into your brain.
I did.
The Jets are not beating the Bills. It's not happening.
You would have said about the Jaguars too, though, right, Mr. Pick Favorites, man?
The Jets are not beating the Bills. Forget about that.
Saints 5-3 at the 7-2 Titans. I thought the Titans would fall off a little bit faster, but they impressed me with a win over the Rams. The Saints, their quarterback situation is rough. I'm going with the Titans here.
Yeah, that's a strange line. The Titans are only favored by 2.5. I don't get that. Alvin Kamara not playing for the Saints either this week. That doesn't make much sense to me. I think that if you look at it, the Saints could line up with both Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian in the backfield with 10 other skill players, so they would have 12, and I would still pick the Titans.
There you go. It's too much of a game to pick them now. Another game I don't think any of us will pick the underdog in. The 6-2 Buccaneers at the 2-6 Washington football team. Come on, I'm just picking the Bucs. Let's not even waste time here.
Yeah, I'll take the Bucs. Both teams coming off a bye, so nothing to be gained there.
The last time the Buccaneers came off a bye, they went undefeated on the way to the Super Bowl. I don't think that's happening this year, but they had a pretty good run last year. 4-5 Panthers at 8-1 Cardinals. I don't care if Kyler Murray's playing; they're not losing this game to the Panthers.
Yeah, PJ Walker is going to start for the Panthers this week. Cam Newton maybe next week. Yeah, I'll take. Although I think Carolina's defense will keep that one closer than I think a lot of people think.
If Carolina can get a healthy defense back next year, I think, and get a quarterback, I think they'll be in business. I think they got something there, but they just suffered too many unfortunate injuries that hindered what they were building. But 3-5 Vikings at 5-3 Chargers. I'm intrigued by this game because the Vikings are oddly in games. The Chargers are not world beaters. They're not a consistent team, but I'm gonna stick with the Chargers. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. I'm not a big believer in.
You don't like that?
I don't like that at all. No, I don't. Kirk Cousins, stop saying that at me when he's that's still my. I can't. No, I'm not going with that. Los Angeles is getting this one.
Dalvin Cook is going to run. This is my prediction for the weekend. Dalvin Cook's going to go for $150 on Sunday,
and they're going to lose. I'm taking the Chargers. So it's like I knew where this was going. He was like, he's going to do great, and then they're still going to lose because the Vikings.
That's just what they do. They've played 7 one-score games this year, and they don't win them.
They're the Chargers of this year because that's what
that
was
just good enough to lose
last year.
Yeah, just good enough to lose.
3-6 Eagles at 5-4 Broncos. The Broncos been on a roll a little bit here. They're back to 5-4. They're trying to push their way into the playoff race. I think they get this one done. I like what their defense has been able to do. Teddy Bridgewater isn't trying to do too much. He's just taking what's there. I think there'll be plenty that is there against the Eagles, and their defense will create the turnovers. I'm going with Denver at home.
Upset special. Right here.
This is upset special, like Jets, Bills, upset special. This is like
the Eagles. The Eagles are underdogs. They're going to Denver, which is one of the toughest places to play in the league. But the Broncos are without 3 starting offensive linemen in this game.
That's fair.
That's going to be a problem against Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave.
I can see that being a problem, but I could also see that the Broncos defense causing problems for Jalen Hurts.
Well, they're missing some cornerbacks too. So other than that, they're in great shape. It was a pricey win for them last week against the Cowboys. It got them to 5-4. I got the Eagles winning this one. The Eagles have suddenly realized, hey, we can run the football, and that works.
Man, Miles Sanders must be so mad.
Miles Sanders is sitting on IR going, you guys gave me, I was getting 2 carries a game, and all of a sudden we got to run the ball.
Where was this? Oh, man. Poor Miles Sanders. All right, 3-5 Seahawks at 7-2 Packers. Dale, first of all, do you think Aaron Rodgers plays? And second of all, does that give you thought to pick the Seahawks, who should have Russell Wilson back?
I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers plays. I don't know. I'm not his doctor. So I'm going to make this pick thinking that Aaron Rodgers does play. I think Rodgers is going to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder coming back because so many people were talking smack on Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers goes out and the Green Bay Packers beat the Seahawks. And then the Seahawks go on a long stretch of where they win like 6 in a row to get back into playoff contention.
You know who gives Aaron Rodgers fits in the playoffs? It's always Russell Wilson of the Seahawks, man. I'm going with the Seahawks. Russ is back. He's gonna, even if Aaron Rodgers plays, he's gonna be rusty. He's gonna make some mistakes. There's gonna be some mistiming opportunities.
How sharp is Russell Wilson gonna be after being out for 5 weeks?
But he's gonna be able to take advantage of the situation. He's gonna get right to work. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been able to be around the team. Like he can't even be. He has to stay home. Russell Wilson has been in the facility. He wasn't
around the team all offseason. That didn't stop him.
Plus Russell Wilson gonna get this done. That's two upsets. I pick. That's an upset special. 3-5 team over.
It is an upset that you would pick 2 upsets.
Yeah, it's an upset that I would pick. Good line there. 5-4 Chiefs at 5-3 Raiders. The Chiefs.
You pick any upset here?
I'm going with the Raiders. I keep going back and forth on this game. I thought that the Raiders would be. See, but that's the thing. I keep going back and forth because I don't trust the Chiefs. But the Raiders have been going through just pure hell on in over the past like 3 weeks. I know John Gruden's now suing the NFL. That's more drama. But I don't even know, man. I'm going with the Raiders. This is a game that I keep going back and forth. I have reasons to pick the Chiefs, reasons to pick the Raiders. I'm going with the Raiders because they're at home here. But who you got?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Like you said, this is a toss-up game, a true toss-up game. But I think the Chiefs need it more.
I do agree. The Chiefs need this game. They can't
afford to lose that one and lose a second divisional game. I think they really need to get things straightened out here. I don't know if they fix everything, but I think they win the game.
I feel you. Now here, this should be a gimme one. For Monday Night Football, 7-2 Rams at 3-5 Niners. I mean,
You can't possibly pick the field.
The Niners are so bad.
Is there a more overrated coach in the league than Kyle Shanahan?
No, I don't think there is.
He has a worse record in his career than Mike Singletary did as the coach of the 49ers.
I never even looked at that. That's insane. But I mean, I said this when they were going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, I don't trust this team, man. Like, I don't think this is a team that's like built to like be around forever. You know, like I think Kyle Shanahan is a good coordinator, but as we often see, coordinators, just because you're a good coordinator doesn't mean you're a good head coach. It's different. It's two different jobs. It's demanding two different things. You know, coordinators, you're the hyper specific guy. You're the one that pulls out these
their
schemes
defense
and stuff.
Stinks.
Yeah, their defense is bad right now, and it's gonna get exposed. I don't know if Odell Beckham Jr. is gonna play. I don't think it matters. Cooper Kupp's gonna rip them a new one. You know, and if Odell Beckham plays, great. Then Matt Stafford will have another guy to do it to them with. But I also see the Rams defense giving the Niners fits. The Niners are in a lot of trouble, but we're both taking the Rams. So our splits here are: you have the Chiefs, I have the Raiders; you have the Packers, I have the Seahawks; you have the Eagles, I have the Broncos; you have the Bills, I have the Jets; we both have the Browns. Yeah. I'm taking the upsets, baby. What's good?
Good luck with that. Good luck.
Thank you. I need it because I'm betting on my play. But this has been the Lolley-Carter Steelers podcast. Thanks so much for listening on DKPittsburghSports.com. He's Dale Lolley. I'm Chris Carter. Thank you for listening as always. Rate this 5 stars on Apple Podcasts if you're enjoying the show. Be sure to check us out. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere podcasts are hosted. And stay tuned. We got a lot more coming your way here on DKPittsburghSports.com with the Steelers playing Sunday. Live coverage at Heinz Field, getting you all the great content right here on DKPittsburghSports.com.